All right, welcome back to The Hill. A new poll out today from Morning Consult, a spell in some trouble potentially for President Biden's re-election efforts. The poll of 7 key swing states includes Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, really the ones that experts are watching. And it finds that President Biden trails former President Trump in 5 of those states. You see the numbers there. He is down 4 in Arizona, for example, down 5 in Georgia, tied in Michigan, up by 3 in Nevada, so on and so forth. You can see the 7 states that matter there. Kurt, this doesn't look too good for your guy, does it? I mean, I know we're a year out. I know these are, just polls, but I mean, man, what do you make of it?
Unsurprisingly, Blake, I don't put much stock in these polls at this point, and really any of these types of polling, because, again, if the polling was what it's supposed to be, Republicans right now would have a 40-seat majority in the House. I mean, everyone said Biden's approval rating is underwater in the midterm elections. Sentiment about the country and the economy was upside down for Democrats, and yet, because Republicans continually step on their own ability to message things like the economy, areas that they can win on, and instead parade around and have sideshows like what's going on right now in the House of Representatives, the message just doesn't really cut through. Like, there's no doubt. It's not great to be the incumbent president and have numbers like that. There's no sugarcoating that. That's not a good position to be in. But I have serious doubts about the Republican ability to be able to actually successfully message that and stay on that message when the guy that's going to be leading their campaign, the guy that's going to be at the top of the ticket, is going to be campaigning from a courthouse for a lot of 2024.
All right, so we're talking about Democrats and Republicans, but here's what caught my attention, Bob. Independents. It surveyed 1,300 independents. Donald Trump plus 10 with a third-party candidate against Joe Biden. Head-to-head, Donald Trump plus 8. Those are independents, Bob.
Yeah, Blake, I mean, President Biden became President Biden because he won independents in 2020. But then even a year later, the Democrats started to lose independents. They lost the Virginia governor's race. Listen, a year before his reelection, President Obama called himself the underdog, and he was. President Biden right now is an underdog for reelection. He is a slight underdog. This is a toss-up race. But those numbers, coupled with the numbers on Bidenomics, are not good. And if he doesn't improve them, he's going to have a tough time. At the same time, Republicans are shooting themselves in the foot. This speaker thing is a disaster. People are going to remember this. We're probably going to have another government shutdown. Republicans are going to get blamed. So we've got a long way to go, obviously.
Yeah, you mentioned Bidenomics, Bob. 49% surveyed there said Bidenomics is bad for the country. Lauren, Mick, Charlie, 26% say it's good. I guess if you're a Republican, that's the number that you look at it, right?
It's really bad because the economy is consistently the top issue that voters care about. And these are traditionally issues where Republicans are successful. And I think if anyone was the nominee that we've seen on these debate stages besides Trump, Biden would be in major trouble because 3/4 of the country think the economy's on the wrong track. They blame him and they feel they were financially better off under Trump. All of these issues, immigration's one, crime is one, education, school choice, you name it, these issues that people really care about are traditional winners for the GOP, but they are just so dysfunctional right now. And it's Trump, who's, 4 times indicted, twice impeached, re-election loser, is the GOP's choice of the person to take back the White House, and that might not go that well.
Well, what's really interesting
Mick,
about...
real quick, go on, Charlie, and then, let me pose this to both you and Mick. How good should Donald Trump be feeling when he looks at this?
Well, look, I think he should feel better about his political position. But look, we don't need polls to tell us that over a majority of Americans, want someone other than Donald Trump and Joe Biden. They think one is too old and the other is too crazy. They want a different alternative. The parties are missing the boat here. They need fresh faces, but they're not willing to deliver. On Bidenomics, look, a lot of Americans equate Bidenomics with inflation. And particularly food prices have exploded. Even though inflation has moderated a bit in recent months, it is still a very big issue, and that's what this is about. They can say whatever they want about Bidenomics, but people are paying a lot more. Okay. Wages aren't growing fast enough, and that's not keeping pace with inflation.
Mick, last word to you real quick. I think we lost Mick there. Mick, hang on. We'll get you on the other side of the break.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.